Okay, everybody, good morning. It's February the 3rd. It's Wednesday, and we're in Portland, Oregon. I'm sitting here with Kenny, and we just thought we'd give you guys a live update and let you know what's happening. Pete had his court appearance yesterday. It was the appealed so that he could be released, and with conditions on bond, and which they call bail, which is what their bail is here. It's not a monetary bail. It is a conditional bail. And we've been trying to keep up with what's happening in Burns. We haven't been there in a couple of days, but we were at the rally, and the rally went, it went well in some perspective. There were a lot of people. As always, the community is split right down the middle. But at this point, people actually feel empowered to step out and say something, which is something that, a month ago would never have happened in Burns, Oregon. On the people still at the refuge, we're not really hearing too much. There's a lot of rumor out there and a lot of opinion, but I personally spoke with David Fry and the people that are still there, and they're taking a hard stand, and we continue to monitor that. We have no control over what's happening, especially now that our only voice has been incarcerated. It's really hard to get their message out, and our equipment, we're down to the bare bones, so it's really tough to get out that message. Please know that we are thinking of them, and again, I'll take the same line that I took with Ammon Bundy. Please, this is just not a good idea, and I hope that they come to a peaceful agreement and walk out of there alive. We all do. Okay, with me is Ken Rhodes, and Kenny is getting ready to take off and go to Utah to his friend's funeral, the funeral of Lavoy Fennekum. And he had something to say to you all before we take off, or before he takes off. Now, I'm going to be staying here in Portland. I'll also be traveling back and forth to Burns here within the next few days. Danny McPherson is going to be joining me. Her flight comes in tomorrow, and she will be helping me get the live updates out, and we'll be able to be on the air a lot more with her here. I will have assistance. I'm also with Staff Sergeant Mo, so it's going to be 3 girls, and we're going to start. We've started getting together and organizing and getting our thoughts together about what we're going to do moving forward. Hopefully Pete will be out tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last hearing. We're going over all the videos that the government had questions about, and so far we haven't found anything except for cherry picking statements that Pete has made, just like all the trolls out there, and we haven't found anything that would keep him incarcerated. So we're trying very hard to get Pete out. They need his voice. The people at the refuge need his voice. You guys have to understand, Pete was arrested the night this all happened. He was swept up too. And so we've been struggling, trying to get information out, driving back and forth. It's a 5-hour drive from through Mount Hood, which is a treacherous pass, during snowstorms, ice storms, rain, you name it, and it's a 5.5-hour drive, and not easy to make. So we're exhausted, but we plan to move on and move forward and do everything that we can. We have to be careful about what we say and what we do, as it is representative of Pete Santilli on the outside. We can't compromise his ability to be released. Now, Joe O'Shaughnessy was released yesterday as Shauna Cox. Joe O'Shaughnessy's still in detention, but within the next couple of days, he will be going home to Arizona. Yesterday, the judge said that, if they would allow Joe, Joe O'Shaughnessy to go home and Shauna Cox, he didn't see why it would be a problem for Pete Santilli to go to Cincinnati. It made no sense. He said, that the government did not prove their case, and that after he reviewed some of the things they said Pete Santilli said for himself, then he said he would, he would come back on Thursday and rule. So we're hoping for the best. We're praying for the best. We need your prayers, and we also need your support. It's really tough out here. We're spending a lot of money. Kenny knows this. Everybody around us knows this. This is all coming out of our pockets, and we are listener supported. So please remember us and donate if you can. It's so important that we're able to stay here and work at getting Pete out, and so that Pete can help work at getting those people out at the refuge too. So Kenny had something to say to you all, and I know that right now I'm really shocked because our internet here, again, the bandwidth is not all that great. I'm watching it, and bit rate keeps going down and fluctuating. For that, I apologize. But Kenny had something to say before he left. When he leaves here to go to Utah for Lavoie's funeral, he will be going home to Michigan and help us from there. Kenny's been here the whole time, from the very beginning. He didn't hesitate when Pete asked him if he would like to go with us, and he's been a trooper. But it's time for him to go home and be with his family and get some rest. And he'll be back. He's promised that he'll be back. So Kenny, you've been here on the ground, and while we were doing this, we weren't keeping up with social media and the people out there who were speaking bad about Pete Santilli. They were speaking bad about Ammon Bundy, and now suddenly all these people act like they care about what's happening up there, and when they didn't care before. They made up stories. It was fake. It was a psyop. It was that. I mean, we've run the gambit of listening to some of their rhetoric out there. Tell everybody how it's feeling today here in Portland, how it's feeling from the information that we're getting, and now that we've had time to look at what's being said out there on the internet. Tell everybody how you feel about that.
Okay, I can tell all these trolls and the people that say Pete Santilli's an FBI informant, Vinny Eastwood, Suzanne Posa, Dabu 7, and probably Alex Jones got his trolls at the same time. All of them calling the district attorney and tell him this about Pete and that about Pete. You people are doing exactly what you accused Pete of doing. So as far as I'm concerned, you're the FBI informants. You're the trolls. So, you're all a little bit jealous because Pete's been on the ground doing the hard work while y'all sit behind the computer saying you know all about it. I ain't seen none of you out here doing anything. And when Alex sent his guy out here, we went over and we found out the school was being used for a staging area. We videotaped it. We put it up. Next thing we know, Joe Biggs said he's over to school where nothing's going on except it's closed down for the day, saying that, I didn't see no school. So all you trolls and all you people that think calling Pete Santilli an FBI informant, I got news for you. Yesterday the district attorney said, I'm getting all these calls. Well, I wonder who he's getting them from. You're the FBI informant. So quit accusing Pete of being an FBI informant. And sit back and look at your own self in the mirror, because you're the worst thing for this country. You're helping pull this country down because you're taking the only voice that was telling the whole truth and everything. I spent a lot of time with Pete. I never heard him call the FBI and tell him